What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I've just been busy with real life stuff, and not only that, I've been gaming a lot on Diablo 3 when, I'm on my off time. Man, once you get the really good items, it's pretty fun to play the game and just experiment things. I absolutely love my roll-in set for my Crusader, and I'm just trying to level up as much as I can, and I also finally got my 500 bounties achievement, which took forever, but it was pretty fun doing it, I guess. I also plan on playing other characters too, so just in case you can't tell, I really love playing Diablo 3, and it's a nice, it's just nice to have a modern game I can play and enjoy as much as Doom 2016, because I played that game so much to a point where I kind of need something to play when my Doom 2016 fatigue kicks in, and Diablo 3 seems to be perfect for that. But other than that, I want to get into the main topic of this video, and it's about my design principles when I used to make maps for Doom 2016. I think this will be interesting for people to watch and kind of understand what goes through my head when I make a map for Doom 2016 back then, and I think it'll be like a top 5 type of deal too, since there are certain goals that I feel are more important than others. So I guess this video will be like my top 5 SnapMap design goal or something like that, but here are my 5 ideal principles I try to nail when I make a SnapMap. Number 5 is displaying my signature design. I definitely have a lot of signature design in my maps, like 250% damage for demons, making fights that feel different from each other, or just a lot of things I always seem to feel attached to when I was starting out mapping in Doom 2016. I know this is kind of like an uninteresting design reason, or it's kind of like predictable, but I think it is good to create your own identity as a mapper. I remember watching Rockhard Gamer 45 playing Frag like it's 1994, and I'm just proud like how he was able to distinct which areas was made by Void Runner and which one was made by me. That's one of the things I truly enjoy, the collab maps that me and Void have done, and I just feel like players can totally figure out which areas is made by which author, and I just think that kind of like just makes the map more of like a cool experience, if you would say. I definitely have been proud with so many of the signature design I've made throughout the mini maps I've made, and I think it's good to just have that, especially if you're trying to be like a real level designer for a video game, since you do kind of want to have something that can make you stand out from other level designers. Number 4 was to challenge myself as a mapper. What this means is I try not to repeat the same ideas I had from previous maps, or try to expand to new ideas or styles. For example, back in the free update 2 days, I was already trying to make cyberpunk themed custom geo snap maps, while it seemed like everyone was making hell or cartoon themed custom geo snap maps. Or the campaigns I made, I thought Decipher and Redemptor kind of felt too similar in a way, and I wanted Secluded to kind of be a bit more different from that. So I wanted it to be more story driven, and it also followed 2 characters throughout the campaign, while in Decipher and Redemptor you just followed 1 character, and the story was very little to non-existent. I always thought it's good to try out some new stuff, but still try to maintain some of your signature design at the same time, but to me that was fun. I didn't always like doing the same thing every time, and I thought if I did that it would just make making maps not as interesting, so it's good to change things up to make snap maps a little bit more interesting when you're trying to make them. Number 3 is definitely something that triggers me if I fail to achieve, but it's something that's very tough to do, especially when you make a lot of maps that can allow players to play it in so many different ways and experience different scenarios, and this 3rd design is making sure my maps aren't broken. I've had moments where I ended up enjoying the map for like the moment it works, and once you bump into an issue, it definitely ruins the entire experience, and I always hated that feeling. So obviously I don't want that to happen to my maps when people play them. It's just a salty experience, if you would say, to have like, you know, so much fun playing a map and then maybe breaking it in a way or somehow where it just doesn't want you, I mean, it doesn't motivate you to come back and play it, or it just makes you feel like you're playtesting a map. It's tough to nail this design goal every time, since, like I said, my maps are very classic Doom themed maps where there are so many situations where people can play in various scenarios, so I can, you know, playtest it and it goes well on my end, but at the same time, you know, it could be a completely different experience for someone who doesn't have the same map knowledge like I do. So I try to really pay attention on the many scenarios people can encounter when they play my map. I do believe part of making snap maps is to make people enjoy your maps and share it to others without making them, you know, break them, and I definitely want to achieve that when I used to make maps. Number 2 is extremely important for me, and it's definitely something I feel like I tend to care a lot more than a lot of snap mappers do, and that is map layout. I come from playing a lot of classic first-person shooters, and a lot of my favorite levels from, you know, these kinds of games tend to have fairly complex map layouts, so I obviously take a lot of inspiration from that. And while the grid room, it is limited in what you can do, I still try my best to take advantage of it. I just like maps that really can let players do whatever they want and have a lot of different scenarios they can encounter, and yeah, it's just always something I seem to enjoy when I play first-person shooters, and obviously it has to have some sort of impact when I make Doom 2016 maps when you think about it. Without a doubt, my number 1 ideal principle when I make a map is to make sure I like to play it. If you watch a lot of my videos where I talk about SnapMap, I think this one is fairly obvious to predict, and I think it's something every snap mapper probably has for their most important design goal when they want to achieve when making a map. It's pretty self-explanatory. I try to make a map I can enjoy when I feel like playing my maps, and I gotta make sure I nail the certain characteristics I want the map to have, like is it a hard map or is it an experimental map, like those kinds of things right there. I wouldn't make maps for people if I didn't enjoy them, or if I feel like there is no sense of connection between me and the map I'm making. It has to be something I can truly enjoy, and as time goes by, be proud of what I did with that map and, you know, the time I spent with it. So those are my 5 snap map design principles I always had when I used to make maps. Do you guys have any of them? What are some of your guys' design principles you try to achieve? Are there any of them that are similar to mine compared to yours? Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and like always, have a great day everyone.